Okay, hello everybody. How are we doing tonight? We are back with some more Tsukihime. And since this is the first stream since Christmas, I hope you all had a nice Christmas. In fact, if you're wondering about the title of the stream, Arcueid's birthday is actually on Christmas. So, happy late birthday to her. And we are gonna go ahead and get into day 3. So it's been a couple of weeks, so as a refresher, last time, Shiki saw a woman. He didn't know her, and he followed her home and brutally cut her into 17 pieces. And today, it's time for him to face some consequences for that. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. When I come to, it's morning. Maybe the rain stopped. I can't hear it anymore. It seems clouded outside, and the sunlight through the window is dim. Taking a deep breath, I get out of bed. I didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, I would imagine not. Over and over, as I was about to fall asleep, that scene would replay in my mind and keep me awake. A crimson floor and limbs everywhere. Reason and memory are liabilities at times like these. They force me to remember things I only want to forget. It's just a dream. Why am I so bothered by it? Oh, buddy, you wish. Yes, just a dream. I should forget it quickly, without a moment's delay. Knock, knock. Someone knocks on the door. It's past 6 o'clock in the morning. Who could it be this early? Of course, it's Hisui. Excuse me. Shiki-sama, are you awake? Yeah, I've been sleeping since yesterday afternoon, so I'm awake early. So, what about you, Hisui? What's happening at this time in the morning? Hisui falls silent. Actually, now that I look carefully, I notice she has my school uniform in her hands. I see. You brought me a change of clothes. Yes. I'm sorry. I have shown you something you do not wish to see. Huh? Hisui keeps silent. What is it I didn't want to see? I don't get it at all. I don't understand, but thanks anyway. Just leave the clothes there. I'll get changed soon and go to the sitting room. Hisui nods in assent. Very well then. Please excuse me. Hisui begins walking silently, only to suddenly turn around. Shiki-sama, if you have the time, I will also prepare a bath for you. A bath? In the morning? Yes. You are terribly dirty, Shiki-sama. Would it not be best for you to wash before you go to school? Yeah, I don't imagine he had a bath last night. Hisui asks me with her usual lack of expression in a disinterested voice. Now that she mentions it, I am dirty. I did collapse from anemia in the park yesterday, after all. Yeah, that's definitely what happened. Keep telling yourself that, Shiki. So, it's not unnatural. Yeah, would you mind doing that for me? I'll have time for that before I go to school if it's this early. I understand. Please come to the bathroom in about 20 minutes. Hisui sets my uniform down and leaves the room. It's still 6 o'clock in the morning. With nothing to do, I spend the 20 minutes in my room staring at the ceiling. I enter the bath and pour water over my head, which makes me feel a little refreshed. I take a deep breath as the cold water soaks my hair. What a terrible dream. There's got to be something wrong with me, having a dream where I kill a beautiful woman like that. If just one day of living in an unfamiliar mansion is enough to give me dreams like that, I hate to think what the days ahead are going to be like. I've really got to get it together. Yeah, dude, yeah, you do. I clear my head with another splash of cold water and wash myself. Ow. I feel a sting as the towel touches my throat. What's this? I look at my neck in the mirror. How did this happen? My throat is red and swollen. It's almost as if I injured it by repeatedly throwing up. I return to my room and change into my uniform. It's barely 7 o'clock. Astounded at how much clearer my head feels after the bath, I pick up my bag and leave the room. Kohaku-san has just come out of the sitting room when I go downstairs. Good morning, Shiki-san. You sure are early today. Kohaku-san makes a bow while smiling. And you look refreshed too. Have you just had a bath? Yeah, I just took one. That's amazing, Kohaku-san. Can you tell? I can tell just by looking at you because your hair isn't dry, Shiki-san. You certainly look cuter after you've had a bath. I avert my gaze just a little as I am faced with that warm, carefree smile. It's kind of embarrassing. Please hold on for just a minute. I'm going to prepare some breakfast now. Huh? Breakfast. I guess she means something to eat? Such a trivial thing causes me to remember the color of blood. I don't have that much of an appetite at the moment. Is a Western-style breakfast like yesterday fine with you, Shiki-san? Yeah. I really don't mind. So, breakfast, huh? That bath felt so good I almost forgot about it. Really? You didn't eat last night either, so I was talking to Hisui-chan about how maybe the sound of your stomach might have woken you up. No. Sadly, that's not the case. I've been a light eater since I was little, so I often skip 1 or 2 meals at a time. I see. Now that you mention it, you've got a nice body without any excess meat on you, Kohaku. Could it be that you're a vegetarian? Perhaps. Come to think of it, I get the feeling that all I ate at the Arima house were vegetables. Kohaku-san busily heads back to the sitting room. But I don't feel like eating right now. It's alright, Kohaku-san. I'll go to school without eating today. Tell Akiha for me. Bye. I head towards the doorway. Suddenly, my arm is tightly grabbed. Shiki-san! I can't believe it. Kohaku-san is angry. What are you saying, Shiki-san? Haven't you looked in the mirror this morning? Well, I took a look in the bathroom mirror. You're lying! You wouldn't say something like that if you looked even once. Kohaku-san is seriously angry. Come to think of it, when I saw my face in the mirror, I think I saw death warmed over. I'll be fine. It's just that I don't have a lot of blood in me, so I look worse than normal people. This won't do. You won't grow without eating breakfast. If you don't have an appetite, I'll prepare you something easy to eat. So please, go to the dining room. I think Shiki needs subscription iron supplements. Especially if he doesn't eat a lot of meat. Holding onto my arm, she drags me towards the sitting room. I've got no choice. I really don't feel like going along with this, but I'll have to accept Kohaku-san's good intentions. Good morning, Nii-san. How do you feel? Akiha greets me reservedly. That firmness about her yesterday is gone. I guess it's because she's worried about me. Good morning. I'm feeling, well, good in a certain way. Returning her greeting, I head towards the dining room. Ah, please wait here, Shiki-san. I'll call you when it's ready. Kohaku-san disappears into the dining room by herself, leaving me, the downcast-looking Akiha, and Hisui, who stands emotionlessly by the wall. This is kind of awkward. Nii-san, about last night, is it true that you collapsed in the park? I don't remember what kind of voice I gave Akiha. Seems so. I don't really remember it myself, but if that's what Kohaku-san and Hisui say, then it must be what happened. Oh, stop talking like it's someone else's problem, Nii-san. You have a weak body, so if you ever feel bad, please contact the mansion. I will send someone to pick you up right away. Hey, listen, there's no need for that. I'm not like a primary school kid. I can make it home by myself no matter how bad I feel, says the guy who did not make it home by himself yesterday. Then I guess the fact that you could not make it home last night would mean you are a child. It sucks to admit it, but Akiha is right. Yesterday was different. That kind of thing is really rare. Look, just because I have chronic anemia doesn't make my body weak. There's no reason for you to worry about every little thing, Akiha. Yesterday was, you know, just a terminal case of bad timing. That's all. A terminal case? Please do not use such inauspicious words, Nii-san. You have only just come back to the mansion. What would I do if you died? Akiha is seriously angry. Jeez. You take things too easily, Nii-san. Please, take better care of yourself. Even if you tell me that, I don't push myself as it is. I'm not in any clubs, and I do everything the doctor says. You'd have to put me in a sanitarium for me to get any better care. Yes, I would love to do that if I could. Avoiding my gaze, Akiha says something very frightening. As for Hisui, she's standing by the wall like a statue. I'm at a loss for conversation. There's still some time until we eat, so... let me take a look at my flowchart, and this is not a decision that matters. So... We are going to talk about Kohaku, because I like her. Akiha. About Kohaku-san. Yes? What about Kohaku? She's a really nice person, isn't she? I was just scolded by her in the hallway. You won't grow without eating breakfast, she said. That sounds like something she would say. Do you like Kohaku, Nii-san? No, that's not what I meant. I was just surprised, because I was never scolded like that when I was at the Arima household. Thanks to her, it doesn't seem like I'll be able to skip breakfast from now on. That's right. You are anemic after all, so it would not do you good to skip breakfast. The dizziness isn't really linked to my diet, but I just nod obediently. My dude, if you're gonna go around calling it anemia, then yes, it absolutely is partially linked to your diet. You need to consume more iron. Shiki-san, it's ready! I can hear Kohaku-san's voice from the dining room. Right, so I'm gonna get some grub. Oh, Nii-san, Please refrain from talking in such an unrefined manner. Akiha shoots me a sharp glare. You've finally gone back to normal. I liked you more when you were calm because you were worried about me. I was not worrying about you, Nii-san. Akiha quickly looks away. Looking at her with a faint smile, I go to the dining room. I'm escorted outside by Hisui. Please take care. Saying the same thing she always does, she continues to stare at me. Shiki-sama, what happened to you last night? Last night? Nothing in particular. I was just feeling sick at school, so I left early. I was on my way back when... On my way back? I just collapsed in the park. Well, I guess I was just being careless, like Akiha said. Yeah, I'll be careful from now on. I am not placing any blame on you, Shiki-sama, but you look like you are pushing yourself this morning. Please take care along the way. Hisui makes a deep bow and sees me out. As I approach the school, I begin to catch sight of more and more students in uniforms. It's Saturday, so most of them are smiling while they walk. It's only a little way to the main gate once I pass this intersection. It's still only 7:30. Looks like I'll be able to get to school with time to spare today. The light turns red and I stop in front of the crosswalk. The school fence is just on the other side. Since it's a school path, the footpath is protected by a guardrail. Even now, the students in front of me are heading towards the school gate. There's no one but students from our school on the other side at this time of day. There should be no one but the students. But between the cars rushing by, I feel like I catch a glimpse of someone in white. What? She's there. Dressed in white, with golden hair down to her shoulders. Long, slender brows and red eyes. I've seen her only once before, but there's no way I could mistake her for someone else. But that's impossible. I killed her myself yesterday, cutting her into pieces. What? No. Even that's a lie. It's all just a dream. Hisui told me so. No, she didn't say anything of the sort. It's just that I wanted to believe it was a dream. Then it really wasn't a dream. But then, why? Why does she exist as real as anything? The light turns green. The students around me walk towards the other side. I am the only one amongst them who stands there, stunned. She sits on the guardrail, her legs swinging idly, as if she is waiting for someone. I can't tell how long she's been waiting, but her expression isn't a grim one. Who is she waiting for? She fidgets restlessly, as if she were waiting for her lover. I have a bad feeling about this. The girl in white looks over in my direction. It's probably nothing more than a coincidence. She's just a stranger who looks like her. She must be waiting for someone else. If not, then this moment must surely be a bad dream too. After all, I completely and utterly killed her with my own hands. But she's looking this way and smiling. Looking very satisfied at having found the person who killed her. Her smile seems to say, "You've finally come." Giving a familiar wave and a smile, she hops off the guardrail. Fluttering her hair, she heads towards me. Don't come. This is a bad dream. The light turns red. Don't come near me. She doesn't even look like she cares, walking straight across the street while the cars pass by. There's only a few meters between us. I'm telling you not to come. The reality before my eyes does not change even when I scream out. Screaming in a voice even I don't understand, I run from the girl in white. I run. I run with all my strength. With no regard to embarrassment or shame, I blast through the passers-by, running full speed across the asphalt. My breathing is wild, and my heart screams out. But still, I run. I feel like I'm going to go crazy if I don't. I look behind me. The girl in white is walking towards me. She's definitely following me. The girl I've killed is chasing me. That's more than enough reason for me to run. My heart feels like it's about to explode, but I ignore it and keep running. When I look back, the girl is still there. With those light footsteps, she follows me as I run away. My head droops down. My arms feel heavy. My legs feel like they're going to tear off. But despite that, I'm running with all my strength, and yet I can't get away from someone just walking after me. She's like a slasher movie villain. My breathing is out of control. I think I've already run several kilometers. But even so, when I look back, she's always there, walking towards me. Naturally, like she's taking a stroll, she follows right behind me. It's not funny, but I begin to laugh. I can't stop laughing. But even so, I run. My body complains that I'll die if I run anymore, but I keep running. The reason is simple. If she catches me, she'll kill me for sure. I ask myself what I base that on, trying to shake it off as mere imagination. But even as I try to console myself, I am the one who knows best it's true. There's no reason, no basis, no evidence. I already know it as a fact that if she catches up to me, I will be killed. Pathetically, I collapse to the ground. I fall forward, not because I tripped, but because I simply can't move my body a single step further. Lying there, collapsed, I somehow manage to crawl my way to the wall. I try to pull myself up against the wall, but it's no good. My knees lose their strength as I try to rise, and I collapse back down. My body won't move anymore. I look up as I breathe. It hurts. I don't have enough oxygen. I can't think properly because of it. I can't even tell what I'm doing anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? Why? I don't even know why the girl I've killed is alive. Unmistakably, I've utterly and completely killed her in the most final way imaginable. So why? How can she be waiting for me in front of my school, smiling? I'm sure I killed her. That's right. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her, so why? Oh? Is the chase over already? With light footsteps, she comes into the alley, shrugging her shoulders in disappointment. Hello. You really gave me some trouble yesterday. With a warm smile, she comes into the alley. I've got to run away. Thinking that, I retreat, only to hit my head against a concrete wall. The chase is already over, right? This is a dead end, after all. There's no need to worry about anyone coming along or interfering. She smiles, looking very happy. Panicking, I look around at my surroundings. A desolate alley. I'm disgusted at my stupidity. Running away here is like asking her to kill me. It's been a long time. 18 hours since then, I finally found you. She takes another step into the alley. You? What? I definitely... Yes, I'm the girl you killed yesterday. I'm glad you remember. That can't be true. There's no way that can happen. Don't be ridiculous. Dead people can't be alive. After all, people die when they're killed. That's true, but there's no need for you to be so surprised. I just revived, that's all. With that curt response, she takes another step, the sound of it reaching my ears. The distance between us is gradually decreasing. Revived? Stunned, I repeat her phrase back to her. Revived. You mean some doctor saved her with some surgery? Don't be stupid. There's no way any human could revive from being cut apart like that. Yeah. Then again, I'm not human. Huh? Her words are so simple, there's no way I could have misinterpreted them. I'm not human. That's what the girl in front of me said. You're not human? Jeez, isn't that obvious? Do you think there's a human being out there who can revive after being cut into pieces? There's no way a human like that could exist. Something like that is just a monster who looks human. Something that revives even when killed. Something that death is irrelevant to. Something that quickly returns to normal and starts moving even after being cut to pieces isn't something you can call human. No way. That seems to be the girl right before my eyes. I try to laugh, but my throat is so dry I can't. What the hell is that? It's not exactly a funny story. Besides, there's too many things in this story that aren't funny. Because definitely, if she's not human, it explains why she's alive even after I've killed her. I start to calm down. This is a situation where I've got to observe everything and think it over. You said you're not human. So what are you? Me? I'm called a vampire. To put it in your terms, I'm a monster who lives off human blood. Ah, good. Vampire is at least something I can easily understand. I see. You're a vampire. She smiles in satisfaction to indicate her assent. What a crazy reply. I've heard that vampires can't walk around during daytime, but I guess that's a trivial matter right now. So, what does this monster want from me? For some reason, she recoils as if surprised. After a moment, she puts her hands on her hips and looks at me, irritated. Have you forgotten what you did to me yesterday? Even though you didn't know me, you cut me apart the moment we met. You've got to be pretty used to this to ask me what I want with you now. She looks more disgusted than angry. But right now, that's how I feel too. Because someone I've killed is complaining to me about me killing her. Hey, are you listening, murderer? Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry, could you shut up for just a minute? Wow, what a thing to say right now. I'm reflecting on how unlucky this is, even for me. Sheesh. I have the worst luck. There was a girl I wanted to kill for no reason, and I killed her on pure impulse. My memory wasn't clear after that, so I calmed down, thinking it was just a dream, but it turned out to be real. What's more, it turns out the person I've killed isn't even human. I can't help but laugh. But it's not all bad. If the person I killed has come back to life, then that means I haven't actually killed anyone, right? Well, I suppose the fact remains that I killed someone, but she's still alive. And that's something I should honestly be happy about. Yeah, with this, I should be able to get back to living my normal life. A normal school life, just like I did up until now. Well, in exchange, I seem to have been cornered by this strange person, but you might argue that it's a heck of a lot better than becoming a murderer. Okay, I've calmed down. If you've got something to say, I'll listen. Complaints, grudges, whatever. Talk all you want. Yeah, I've got a whole lot of things to say to you, but you're weird. I'm just taking everything in right now. You could say I've built up a resistance to weird stuff like this. I don't think it's of much help in this case, though. She stares at me. It isn't malicious. It's strange. I thought that to get someone back when they got you was one of the common laws of the world. Then she should be trying to kill me, but... What are you staring at? You're here to... Or what are you staring at? You're here to get revenge, right? Then... Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to kill you back, in theory. I'll kill you if you really want me to, but otherwise I'll pass for now. It's not very efficient that way. She stares at me head on. So, are you sorry? I'm stunned for a moment. The things she says are so... out of place. I'm asking you if you're sorry for killing me. I'm thinking about forgiving you if you are, you see. Besides, I get the feeling you're a pretty bad liar for a human. Sorry. Me? Yep. If you apologize to me, then I'm fine with that. This is unbelievable. What's so unbelievable? Not that the person I killed is forgiving me, but her voice sounds so kind. Hey! You have to give an answer when people ask you seriously, you know. Come on, hurry up and answer. We can't get on with things until I make it clear whether or not you're sorry. She's angry. Am I sorry? She asks. That goes without saying. Yeah, I regret it. No matter what the reason is, I did kill someone. Without mercy or reason. I killed just for myself. I do regret the fact that I killed someone, but more importantly, the person I killed was you, and so... It's a lie that it's alright if she's alive. It's a fact that I killed her. It's the ultimate violation, the greatest violence possible. So, you can get your revenge on me. I thought it was only natural you'd be here to get revenge. I hang my head, mumbling, like I'm confessing to someone. Look at her, she's so cute. I see. You're not a bad person. She smiles. Despite calling herself a vampire, she has a very honest face. I've decided. I'm going to make you help me. Huh? Help her? What is she talking about? Hey. Hey, what do you mean by helping you? It's simple. I'm going to get you to help me deal with the vampire which took root in this town. Hold on, I'm getting more and more confused. Dealing with vampires? But you're a... Oh, no. I am a vampire, but the vampire in this town is a different kind altogether. You live here, don't you? Then you should know about the murders that have been occurring lately, right? Yeah, quite a few people have been killed already. Hey, wait. I remember now. Come to think of it, all of the killer's victims had their blood extracted or something, didn't they? Don't tell me that. Exactly. Even the news is saying stuff like the work of a vampire, right? It's a funny thing. They obviously know what kind of creature is doing it, but no one is going around trying to vanquish it. That's why I've got no choice but to do it for them. Wait, but vampires don't exist. Bit late for you to be saying that, Shiki. She lowers her brows in annoyance. Oh, that's right. There's an unidentified person standing in front of me claiming to be a vampire herself. I don't really understand, but what you're trying to say is that you're here in this town to exterminate vampires, right? That's right, but before I could, I was attacked and killed by some unknown killer. Yeah, that really got me. It was a perfect surprise attack, and I was cut into 17 pieces without a chance to do anything. Ugh, I see. She must mean me, obviously. That's right. Until I was fully recovered like this, I was really planning to kill you, you know. That's the first time anyone's embarrassed me like that. And it took about 80% of my power to fully recover. But more importantly, it really, really hurt. It was so painful I thought I was going to go crazy. However, the pain was so great, it restored my sanity. Do you know what it's like experiencing that over and over for a whole night? I don't know. Actually, I don't want to know. So, full of hatred, I went out to look for you. I was so worked up that I didn't even care about the vampire, the very reason why I'm here. I knew you were a student, so that's why I waited over there for you. I don't get it. If you hated me so much, why are you forgiving me? Let's see. To put it simply, I calmed down after a while. I already used up a lot of my power, and I thought that it would be more efficient to use you as a shield than to kill you. Hold on. You just said something really bad for me. Huh? Did I say something like that? You said you were going to use me as a shield? Of course. I already did forgive you, but that's just my personal feelings. You've got to atone for your murder through action, not just emotion, right? Well, even if you ask me. What's with you? I can't tell when you're being sincere and when you're not. Let me repeat it again. You killed me. You probably can't imagine it, but it takes a lot of energy to regenerate once you've been killed. Well, actually, it wouldn't be a big deal if you had just killed me, but the way you killed me was something I've never seen before. I couldn't heal the wounds, so I had no choice but to remake my body parts. That's why it took so much energy to revive. She looks angry. It seems like she's recalling her forgotten anger while she talks. Anyhow, I'm weak right now. I think I'll be able to recover after 2 nights, but if the enemy attacks before then, I'll be in danger. That's why for now, I'll have you be my shield. You'll have me do it? What are you doing, deciding everything by yourself? What? This is all your fault to begin with, so isn't that much to be expected? Or are you not sorry after all? She looks straight at me with honest eyes. This is unfair. No, Shiki, I think it's perfectly fair. Sorry or not, using those eyes is unfair. It's unfair she has such pure eyes like that when she claims she's a vampire. Stuck for an answer, I lift my gaze. Huh? What is it? Something odd is there, in the gap between the buildings. Hold on. What's that? I get up and walk. I walk to the middle of the alley, and I finally realize what it is. A blue-colored bird. A crow, to be precise. A blue... crow. That inauspicious thing I saw 2 nights ago. Oh, man. The girl murmurs. The crow just stares at us. Geez, thanks to your slowness, he found us. The girl looks at the entrance to the alley. Found us? Who? I cast my gaze towards the alley entrance. Then, I take a step back in shock. Before I knew it, a dog had appeared in the narrow path running into the alley. It has 4 tough legs and a tense neck like a steel frame. That form, far removed from that of a human, is one made solely for hunting. It doesn't need to resort to verbal intimidation. Most humans would become nervous just by looking at that kind of hunting beast. As a fellow life form, it inspires awe by its dishearteningly superior athletic ability. A black dog? I start to shake. The black dog looking in our direction isn't small like a stray. As big as a German Shepherd or a Doberman, it just stands there menacing us. The girl says nothing, but looks at the dog with disinterested eyes. Then, suddenly, the black dog jumps. No, it's running, but with a speed that makes it seem like it's jumping. I can't do anything. The black dog jumps straight for my throat. I can see it. I can see its black body moving towards me, but I don't even have time to think about dodging it. Thud. I feel a shock on my body. I was hit hard from the side. It's not the black dog. It seems the girl pushed me before it could crush my throat. With an easy movement, like someone throwing a ball, she hurls me into the wall using just one hand. With a terrific wham, I fall on my rear. Why, you? What in the world are you doing? Never mind that, keep your eyes in front, the girl yells. I look, having lost sight of me, its target. The black dog bounds towards the wall. Sticking to the wall like a lizard, it jumps again. It bounces from the wall towards me. The dog's path is like black lightning. It's too fast. I can't react. The black dog opens its mouth, filled with teeth and saliva. This time, it clamps down towards my windpipe. I close my eyes. The dog's teeth sink into my throat. But in that instant, the dog lets out a yelp and releases me. That's impossible. The black dog lets out a scream and leaps straight up. There's nothing there, but nonetheless it flies high into the sky by itself. Just like that, the black dog, after going several meters into the sky, makes a scream and falls back down onto the concrete. No, perhaps more accurately, it was hit into the concrete. What was that? Jeez, you just made me waste more of my energy. The girl quietly approaches the black dog. It is crushed against the concrete like a pressed flower. That's quite a mongrel of a familiar. I suppose it was some kind of scout. The black dog liquefies into some kind of tar-like substance and is absorbed into the concrete. It melted. No, maybe it's just dissolving. It can't be, can it? There's no way chaos would be in a place like this. Heaving a long sigh, she approaches me. Oh? You don't seem to be hurt, so there's no problem. She's mumbling something. My throat. I can still feel the dog's teeth sinking into it. Hey, what was that thing? A familiar of an enemy vampire. We were discovered because you weren't being clear. Discovered? You mean by that enemy vampire you mentioned? Yeah, this isn't good. It looks like I really will need you as a shield now. She says it so casually and with a smile. Stop saying such crazy things, you idiot. You saw me. What do you think I can do? You're a lot better off by yourself. Not really. With the power I just used to protect you, I really am empty now. What? What in the world? I'm grateful she helped me just then, but still. I can't do it. I can't. I don't have the power to drive away something like that. Sorry, but I can't even be a shield. Liar. You killed me. Why would you lie after doing something like that? That was something I don't even understand myself. No. Look, I can't do it. I'm just a normal human. I can't help you. Not true. All you have to do is keep watch while I sleep. That's it. You can do that much without any problems, right? That's... She looks straight at me. Somehow, those eyes are making me weaker. Now this looks like a decision that does matter. And so... So, we are going to simply cooperate. I'll cooperate. For some reason, I can't decline. I did kill her, after all. It's my fault she's weak and has to ask others for help. It is my responsibility. Besides, although I've only known her for a little while, she doesn't seem like a bad person. So, how about it? Can't a human like you cooperate with a vampire like me? Well, that would be the obvious answer, but... don't look at me with those eyes. Why is it? It's making me feel overcome with guilt and unable to refuse. But now that I've gotten myself into this mess, I won't be able to sleep at night if I just deny all responsibility. Man, I just know I'm going to regret this. So, yeah. I think I could probably do it. The enemy's the serial killer, right? As a resident of this town, I'd probably be struck with some kind of divine punishment if I refused to help you. Huh? You mean... I'm not going to be your shield, but if it's just being your lookout, I'll do it. I feel disgusted at how stupid I am as soon as those words are out of my mouth. I feel disgusted, but... there is something about her deeply shocked expression that's... Wow! Are you serious? I'm really a vampire, you know. Hey, listen. Why are you saying all this now after you've threatened me so much? That's true, but... well, whatever. If you're going to cooperate with me, then I should be grateful. With a very happy expression on her face, she approaches me as I lie there on my rear, up against the wall. Our contract is established. She extends her hand towards me. I guess I can finally introduce myself now. I'm Arcueid. My last name is really long. No, it's not. So just Arcueid is fine for now. I'm a true ancestor type vampire. How about you? heave a heavy sigh at her unprecedented introduction. It's a sigh of resignation, evidence I've decided to accept this nonsensical situation. I'm Tono Shiki. Sadly, I'm just your everyday student. I've said it before, but I'm really not going to be much use. Grasping her, Arcueid's hand, I stand up. She takes a long, hard look at me, and then offers me her hand again. Nice to meet you, Shiki. I'll have you take responsibility for killing me. Arcueid grins as she extends her left hand. There are all sorts of responsibilities in this world, but this is probably the first and last time someone takes responsibility by helping someone they've killed. Damn it, this is seriously messed up. But there's nothing else I can do. I grudgingly extend my left hand and shake hands with the woman in white claiming to be a vampire. Alright, we are going to take a little break. Gonna get up and do some stuff and drink some water. So everybody make sure to get up, stretch, etc., etc., and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, we're back. Let's continue. This is a pretty nice room. I'd have no problem spending the night here. Arcueid looks around the hotel room. I've got nothing to say for now. My room has probably already been discovered, so let's hide out here for the night. Oh, you don't have to worry about money. I'm rich, so I'll treat you. Speaking cheerfully, Arcueid closes the curtains. She also turns off the lights and the room becomes as dark as night. I sigh. What are you thinking, Arcueid? I'm thinking about all sorts of stuff. No, that's not what I mean. I'm asking why you've rented a high-class hotel, not a cheap one, and why you rented out the whole top floor. I try to say this, but I stop. Right now, my job is to guard this so-called vampire and nothing more. I'm not going to ask any useless questions. No, forget it. Do whatever you like. You're weird, Shiki, suddenly getting mad and going silent like that. I just don't get you. Arcueid lies on the bed, smiling like she's having fun. I'm going to sleep until the sun sets. You'd better rest while you have the chance. Vampires don't move about in the daytime, so you'll be on guard for real during the night. Do you realize you've just said something that completely contradicts your existence? Oh, it's alright for me. Oh, I guess it's almost my limit. Good night, Shiki. Wake me up when the sun sets. Hey! Like a machine whose power is cut off, Arcueid suddenly falls asleep. God, I wish I could fall asleep like that. Huh? She's so defenseless. Right now, I could run away if I wanted to. She did force me to come with her, after all. I could easily run away now. And I don't have that impulse anymore, but I even killed you once. Yet, how is she able to suddenly fall asleep despite that? I look at Arcueid's face as she sleeps on the bed. Her plump chest rises and falls. Interesting word choice. It looks like she's breathing, but her body isn't moving at all. It's like the air around her has stopped. It's so tranquil even I might stop moving. What a peaceful slumber. A kind of defenselessness, as if she had absolute trust in me, even though we've only just met. She's so stupid. She's so stupidly honest I might start to worry. But aside from that, this is a turning point. This may very well be the point of no return for Tono Shiki. Was this the very first possible bad end? Oh, it most certainly is, but we're not going to be going for that. So, we will stay with Arcueid. Still, I can't leave her alone. I did promise, after all. No matter what it was I promised, I can't break it. Arcueid is sleeping. Her face is a pale white, like that of a sick person. Arcueid said she was weak. She said she was at her limit just a while ago, so I don't think she considered what I could do after she went to sleep. The room is quiet. We're on the 11th floor, the top floor. Since she rented out the whole floor, there are no other guests here. The only sound is Arcueid's breathing. When I see her like this, she really looks nightmarishly beautiful. That white, smooth skin and that silky, light blonde hair, the soft lines of her body, and those long eyelashes that look like swift brush strokes. A perfect body, down to even the smallest details, the likes of which I've never seen before. No, to be more precise, the kind I never would have seen in my entire life. Vampire or not, Arcueid is a girl. I have to take responsibility for the fact that she's so weak now that she falls asleep instantly like she just did. You have to take responsibility for your own deeds. A part of my childhood education makes an appearance in my head. Sensei even told me. My eyes are strange, so they would in turn attract strange things. Then I should be prepared to take responsibility. At the very least, I should keep my promise and protect her for tonight. White. The kind you see when you wake up. That color calls some nostalgic memories to mind. A hot summer day. A blue sky and large, large columns of summer clouds. The scenery slowly wavers in the heat. The voice of cicadas. The sound of cicadas. Chirp. Chirp, chirp. Yeah, that's not what they sound like, but whatever. Cicada shells are lying in the clearing. As if the sun is right by my side, the clearing is roasting. Oh my god. What is my dad watching that is so loud? A hot midsummer's day, as if the entire world became a frying pan. Are those supposed to be more cicada noises? No, that's crying. Akiha is crying. Akiha, who would always obediently stay close behind me, is brimming forth with tears. A child lies collapsed at her feet, soaked in blood, killed. The corpse of a child about my age. A cast-off cicada shell. My 2 hands are red with the blood of that collapsed child. Shiki! The adults are coming. The fallen child is still dead. The adults are yelling. Did you kill him? That dream. A dream I had forgotten, even in my dreams. I feel like I remember. Shiki. Hey, wake up. The sun's already set. Someone is shaking me. A somewhat unfamiliar voice, and the touch of a cold hand on my shoulder. Huh? Arcueid is standing right in front of me. She's already woken up, and it's pitch black outside. I glance at the clock, and it says it's already 8. Huh? It's not? I told you to wake me up when the sun went down, and you go and fall asleep. Crap. Sorry, I was feeling out of it. I don't remember when I fell asleep, but I'm sure it was while I was staring at Arcueid's sleeping face. Jeez, you'll lose your qualification as a bodyguard like that. If the enemy had attacked while we were both sleeping, we could have both died, you know. I said I'm sorry. Besides, you said it was safe during the daytime. I can't say that for sure. Familiars like the one we saw this morning could have come for us. Arcueid is angry. Well, she's got a right to be. I've got no right to talk when I, the bodyguard, dozed off while she was sleeping. And besides, I am a vampire, you know. How can you just sleep there without feeling any danger? I don't want you to be afraid for no reason, but it'd be nice if you were at least tense enough not to fall asleep. I take that back. Arcueid doesn't seem to care that I didn't do my job as a bodyguard. She just doesn't seem to like the fact that I fell asleep. I can move my body a little better and wake up, only to find you sleeping there happily. You looked so vulnerable, I was seriously starting to feel uneasy that I might not have the dignity befitting a vampire. Well, I don't think she has much dignity. You were just as vulnerable yourself. I killed you once before, remember? You can't guarantee I won't do it again, can you? Ah. Arcueid gives a surprised look, as if she only just realized it. Now that you mention it, you're right. I wonder why I did that. I guess I just had complete confidence in you since we spoke in the alley. Well, saying that doesn't make me feel bad for her. Okay, since you trust me so much, I'll try my best. So, should I just keep watch from now on? Yeah, until sunrise tomorrow. I can't leave the room, so be on guard if someone comes up to this floor. Be on guard, huh? Being on guard is going to do me no good if one of those black dogs from this morning comes for us. I let out a sigh. As expected, this is too heavy a role for me. Let me ask you something. Was the black dog that attacked us this morning something your enemy sent out? I don't think so. It was probably for surveillance. His patrol route happened to pass through where you and I were talking, and it seems my presence was revealed as a result. Revealed? To your enemy? That's right. If I had been in perfect condition, it would actually save me some time. But right now, it's the opposite. If I were attacked now, I'd be the one annihilated. That's why I have to hide out like this for now until my power returns. Arcueid's enemy. In other words, the serial killer who's been causing the stir in this town. A vampire. Arcueid, I want to ask you something. Will you answer my question? I don't mind talking, but why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Yeah, I haven't asked you the most important thing yet. So, what's your ultimate objective here? Me? I'm here to hunt down the vampire. Killing vampires is my duty. Yeah, I do remember you saying something like that before. But you're a vampire, right? What? You still don't believe me? Oh, don't worry. I believe you so much it hurts. I'm asking why would you, a vampire, claim to be doing something as odd as killing other vampires? Oh? You don't like the idea of beings from the same species killing each other? The act of killing doesn't exactly make my list of favorite things. But she is right. I'm not comfortable with the idea of vampires killing vampires. No, it's just that I really can't imagine something like that happening. Vampires drain the blood of humans, right? So they should be killing humans, not other vampires. Drinking blood and killing are different things. Well, even so, I know what you're trying to say. You think beings from the same species should help each other out, right? But vampires can be of the same species and still be different life forms. That's why they don't really have what you humans call camaraderie. Then you're saying something makes you different from the vampire you're hunting? That's right. The one I'm after is a human vampire, just like the stereotypical vampire from you humans' folklore. He kills humans by draining their blood, turning them into the dead, then uses them to increase his power and influence. That's the sort of vampire I hunt. The one lurking in this town is that sort of old-style vampire. That sort of vampire? It seems like there are different types. Don't tell me you want me to be your shield so you can get this guy. Yeah, that was my original intent. But after talking to you, I've changed my mind. You see, at first I thought you were someone from the church. So I thought you might have information about the location of the enemy, but you turned out to be a perfectly ordinary person. You didn't even know about vampires, let alone the location of the enemy's coffin. Yeah, come to think of it, there's no way they'd send an exorcist to a Far East secular country like this one. I guess I didn't put enough thought into this. Oh yes, the church would never send their executors to Japan. Absolutely not. Never. Arcueid thinks aloud. Her conversation derails, and I'm feeling a little left out. I don't follow you at all, Arcueid. Hold on for a moment. Let's see. How should I explain this? With that, Arcueid's gaze begins drifting. She doesn't seem used to holding a conversation. Don't worry about it and just explain everything about the current situation. I don't understand any of this, but I might be able to see the general gist of things. Really? Thanks, Shiki. You don't have to thank me. Just keep talking. Arcueid nods obediently. Basically, the vampire currently in this town is an old-style vampire. He himself reigns as the Lord and releases the dead he made into the city. By doing so, he increases his power bit by bit. He's a typical vampire in that he drains the blood of humans, and those humans become vampires themselves. He's not very powerful right now, as he doesn't have many dead serving him, but as the victims increase, so does his power. It would be best to destroy the main body before that happens, but I haven't found where he sleeps yet. He's hidden so well right now, I can't even feel his presence. Even so, it's easy to take care of things once I find it. But I don't have any clues whatsoever, so I had no choice but to walk around town during the day to investigate. But then I suddenly got attacked by a passing killer, and now I'm temporarily weaker than the enemy vampire. Arcueid shoots me a cold look. She is never letting this go. I guess she wants to say something to the passing killer. I see. I kind of understand the situation now. So, in other words, some evil monsters are based in this town, and you're here to eliminate them. Since you didn't know where they were, you went looking for them, and that's when I, killed you. So now you're weakened and hiding out while you recover. Is that about right? To put it simply, I think so. Then next is the main topic. You casually call yourself a vampire, but I still don't really understand that term. It's obvious you're not a human, that much I can see, but I don't get the feeling that you're a vampire either. That's true. I'm a little different from the type of vampire you know about. Indeed. I hadn't considered that vampires even existed at all, let alone a vampire like you. So what makes you different? Arcueid thinks. Yes, I suppose it might be helpful to teach you a bit about us. Alright, then the first period's lessons will be Vampires 101. Okay, but what's with Vampires 101? You're an amateur at this, so we've got to start with the basics, right? That's why I'm going to start teaching from the very beginning. Okay, whatever. Just keep it short. Well, I'll try my best. It really does seem like she's not used to talking. Well, we've got lots of time, so for now, I guess I'll listen to Arcueid without complaint. Although we're typically called simply vampires, we're divided into two main categories. Those who were vampires from the start, and those who become vampires. The former are called true ancestors, and the latter are called the dead apostles. The ones you call vampires are the dead apostles. They drain the blood of humans and turn them into their slaves. They're weak against sunlight, and you can vanquish them with a baptism ritual. Our enemy is one of these dead apostles. It's gone from my enemy to our enemy. Well, I don't mind. She's not wrong, considering the situation I'm in now. So you're saying these dead apostles aren't vampires from the start. So what do you mean by that? Dead apostles were once humans. They've attained immortality through magic or had their blood sucked by one of the true ancestors. Either way, the ones that become vampires become immortal, even though it's imperfect immortality. Those who were vampires from the beginning and humans who became vampires. What is this? I get the feeling that there's some kind of huge contradiction to all of this. It feels like some important fundamental is missing somewhere in this theory. Hey, Shiki, how much do you know about vampire folklore? Let's see. Just the usual stuff. They suck the blood of virgins, they can bind people just by looking at them, they can turn into mist and wolves. Just the usual stuff you hear about. And you didn't mention bats. Yeah, that's pretty much all true. They drain the blood of virgins because one's blood cells are more pure before one has exchanged bodily fluids with others. Sure. Okay, whatever. That makes virgins most suitable for repairing the vampire's own degenerating genes. The dead apostles, the ones that become vampires, have imperfect immortality. Since they became immortal, they won't die from old age. However, they need to replenish their energy frequently or they'll disappear. All living creatures need nutrients to be able to move, right? It's the same thing. It's just that vampires don't die from age as long as they take in the nutrients. The dead apostles suck blood because they need it to stay alive. Immortality is a strain on their originally human bodies. The genes that compose their bodies are different. When they become vampires, they begin to degenerate at an incredible rate. To make up for that, they must drain the blood of others in order to absorb genetic information and stabilize their own bodies. To a vampire, drinking blood is not like eating, but it's the minimum requirement for them to continue to exist. This sounds complex and long. I can't follow the logic, but Arcueid nonetheless continues speaking. So, moving on. The ability to bind someone with just a look is a type of mystic eyes. Eyes and words are both common types of magic circuits, so there are many vampires who have mystic eyes. We usually possess the mystic eyes of enchantment. We don't enchant people by looking at them, rather we enchant those who look into our eyes. A powerful vampire using mystic eyes can impose his own will into the brain of another and completely dominate their thoughts, but the mystic eyes of a dead apostle don't have that much power. What you call turning into mist is really just making a spare body and controlling it via the will. Once the part serves its purpose, you cut the flow of magical energy to the offsuit and naturally, it returns to dust. Wolves and other animal transformations are a byproduct of a vampire's repairing its damaged body from its familiars. For a vampire living a long time, stabilizing their bodies with normal lives is not sufficient. Humans are not fundamentally powerful animals, so it's more effective to repair one's body by absorbing beasts, as they surpass the human species in this respect. Vampires who repair their own bodies with beasts can return those beasts to their previous forms and use them as familiars when they need to. From what I've heard, there's even a 1,000-year-old vampire whose body is made up entirely of familiars. There most certainly is, and he is cool as hell. They say he contains 666 beasts within his body, or something like that anyway. I think Arcueid's getting a little too wrapped up in her own speech. To be honest, I'm not finding this world easy to understand. Yeah, that's about it. It's just an explanation of the very basics, but now do you know what a vampire is? Well, I suppose. The reality of Arcueid being a vampire begins to feel harder and harder to accept. Now it's my turn. Actually, there's something important I've forgotten to ask you too. What? You're not going to learn anything from me. I'm not a vampire or anything, just an ordinary student. Then let me ask you this, Shiki. How exactly did you kill me? Huh? I'm asking about the method you used. I'm resistant against stuff like runes and Kabbalah, so those don't work on me. The only things I'm not resistant against is magic I've yet to experience, which is probably limited to the ancient Shinto in this country and the treasures in South America. No, not even those could kill me that much. Answer me, Shiki. What kind of occult artifact did you use to incapacitate me to that degree? Occult artifact? What's that? A catalyst which stores ideas and history! Jeez, you've got sacred treasures in this country too, don't you? They're usually something like staffs and swords, jewels and masks, conceptual weapons that can be used against nature itself. Come on, Shiki! Are you sure you're not someone from one of those fields? What field? I told you, I'm just a student. I don't know anything. That's a lie! There's no way a human who's not even a magus can hurt me. Are you hiding something from me, Shiki? Arcueid gives me an angry, cat-like stare. But even if she looks at me like that, I'm not hiding any oh, wait. Actually, there is one thing. I'm not sure whether it's relevant, but Arcueid is still staring at me. It doesn't seem like I'll be able to keep quiet about it. Alright, I'll tell you, but how should I put this? I can see these lines that can be used to cut things. Huh? Oh. She's stunned. I just had an idea for something I could do with my model for these streams. I could give myself mystic eyes of death perception! She should be. Normally, I don't think anyone would believe a story like this. What do you mean? Arcueid asks in a serious tone. She's not exactly normal. I should have known she would defy my expectations in a good way. I mean, I see these lines where things can be cut. Living things, the ground, anything touchable. It's like a black line, and I can cut things clean when I let anything sharp through it. Does that mean anything to you? It's convenient to be able to cut steel with a knife and all, but it's not like I can cut it anywhere I like. I can only cut things where I can see the lines, and when I cut you, well, you can cut a girl's skin with just a knife, right? Arcueid's eyes are serious as she glances at me. Those wild eyes that I've only seen once before. A gaze that could stop my breathing. I see. I thought the mystic eyes of death perception only existed in fairy tales. But I guess there is someone who can use them, a mutated monster like you. What? I don't think a vampire can call me a monster. A monster is a monster. There isn't anyone, even amongst us, with mystic eyes that can see the death of things. See the death of things? Arcueid nods in affirmation with an inimical gaze? I don't know what that word means. Hang on. Inimical... tending to obstruct or harm, unfriendly, hostile. Okay, so mean, possibly violent. A circuit must have opened in your eyes, Shiki. Were you born with eyes like that? No. They became like this a long time ago, but I wasn't born with them. Then you must have had at least one near-death experience at some point, right? What? It's true. 8 years ago, I got in an accident where I almost died. Just as I suspected. You had the latent ability, but that must have been the trigger. The mystic eyes of death perception, huh? Yes, with those, you could definitely kill even me. With a small sigh, Arcueid's eyes returned to normal. Arcueid, do you know something about these lines? Not to the extent you would, but I do have some information. What you see is the end of all things, the point where things die easily. To put it simply, it's the time of death for everything in existence. That is, death itself. I remember now. That time. When Sensei gave me these glasses, she had told me something similar to what Arcueid said. But there's a subtle difference to what Sensei said and what Arcueid said. What I'm seeing are only lines, and not something as disturbing as death. What are you saying? What I see are just the lines where things can be cut. I'm telling you, those lines are the death of the object. Listen, Shiki, everything in existence has an end. There are differences to when, but it's an end nonetheless. Death does not arrive. It is already contained within the object at its creation, and it's bound to happen someday. This is what is called the principle of causality. You've heard of that before, right? As long as something has an origin, it must have an end. When it will end is determined from its beginning. That's its so-called time of death. So, as it already exists from the beginning, it's not impossible for one to see it with their eyes, given that they can comprehend the concept of a time of death and they have the appropriate circuit in their brains and eyes. That's the truth behind those lines you see. This is nothing more than the general concept, but if I were to theorize, I would say that they are the weakest parts of the joints between the molecules in something, or perhaps a pre-designated switch within the genetic makeup that activates the death of that object. But that doesn't really make sense. I can't see them, so I can't say for sure, but lines aren't all you can see, are they? I would think there would be points more than lines. Ah, that's right. When I first saw Arcueid, when I wasn't myself, when I took off my glasses, I could see the usual scribbles, and black points where the scribbles seemed to flow from. There were. It only happened that one time, but definitely. I saw black points. There were several on your body, and the black lines flowed between them, joining them up. If I had to make an analogy, I would say they were like blood vessels. I see. The lines where things die easily, and death itself, huh? I'm surprised you've stayed alive up until now like this. You must have a very tranquil heart, Shiki. Arcueid says this philosophically. In my own way, I understand what she's saying, but I don't want to believe any of it. What? There's no way that sort of thing exists, let alone me being able to see it. Well, you are seeing it. Usually, when you cut a living being's neck, they die. This means it stops because you've cut it. Conversely, you can say that if you can't cut something's neck, it won't die. This is about me, so just consider it an exception. But in your case, you can ignore the cause. Even against that which is immune to all external effects, you kill first. What is killed then becomes dead. It's not that it stopped because you cut it, but in your case, you stop the object, and as a result, it is cut. See? What else can I call you but a monster? You may just call them lines along which something can be cut, but those eyes are more special than those possessed by any other user of supernatural power in history. You, Shiki, have the eyes that can kill anything, just like death itself. I'm at a loss for words. If that really is what I see, just like Arcueid is saying, those black lines really are the time of death for all things. And then everything around me is filled with death. So what? If it's all as you say, I should be able to kill even you. Really? Then let's try it. Arcueid opens the curtains. The lights are off. The only illumination is the faint moonlight coming in through the window. Come on, it's alright. Try it, seriously. Wait, could it be you can't see them with those glasses on? Are you sure about this? I take my glasses off. Only to see the lines, of course. At the same time, the room begins to writhe with the black lines. Outside the window, the moon is white. They're difficult to see in the daytime due to the strong sunlight, but under the faint moonlight I can even see the glow coming from the lines. Amidst them, the lines on Arcueid's body are very thin. if I don't concentrate, I lose sight of them altogether. Ah. If I hadn't been killed by you, I don't think you'd be able to see any at all, but right now you can probably see them. Hold on a sec. Gotta adjust how I was sitting. It was getting a bit uncomfortable. You see, although I have no times of death during the night, some do appear during the day. You could kill me because it was during daytime, but you can see my time of death during nighttime now since I've used up a lot of energy to regenerate myself. In other words, I've lost my immortality. So, can you cut the lines on my body, Shiki? Let's see. I think I probably could, since the lines are there, but I don't think I could do it so briskly and without hesitation like that time before. I think it'd be hard. The lines keep fading in and out, so I probably couldn't do it unless you're sleeping. You can't, right? That's your biggest weak point. No matter how many deaths you can see, you need to trace the line with your own hands. No matter how weak I am right now, my athletic ability isn't so low that I'd be caught by you. I see. Come to think of it, I can't catch agile animals. That means I can't touch their bodies. In other words, even if I can see its lines, I can't kill anything that moves. Ow! I feel a stab of pain run through my head. Looking at the lines gives me a headache, just like it did when I was a child. I put on my glasses, and the world returns to normal. Arcueid is staring intently at me. What? Is there something else? No, that's not it. You can't see the lines if you put those glasses on? Yeah, I got them from someone a long time ago, when my eyes first became like this. I'm only using the lenses now, but thanks to them, I can lead a normal life. Yes, I see. No matter how strong a mind you may have, your only choices when faced with death all the time would be to put out your eyes or go mad. Skill issue. Skill issue! Saying that, Arcueid comes closer. Hey, can I take a look at them? No. These are important to me. I'm not handing them over to you. Come on, I'm not going to break them. I'm just going to look at them. Arcueid creeps closer. I get the feeling she wouldn't be adverse to getting them by force. What shall we do? I will give them to her. Fine, but just for a little bit. Sorry, I was looking at the flowchart and I was like, oh, are we getting to that tonight? Is that happening tonight? I don't know. I think it might be. This flowchart is like not very clear about what's actually happening. Arcueid doesn't look like she's going to give up. Fine. Give them back as soon as you're done looking. I hand her my glasses. Arcueid stares intently at the glasses, and then looks at me with frightening eyes. Shiki, is the person who made these glasses in this city right now? I don't think she is. It's been 8 years, and it seems like she was only here for a week. I see. That's good. I don't have to deal with more... Well, it's probably safer not to deal with Blue in the first place anyway. Arcueid retreats to her thoughts. I forgot about this. So Arc knows about alcohol. Interesting. Arcueid, you know Sensei? I mean, the person who made these glasses? I know her. A sorceress. She is one of only 4 of her kind. These glasses are truly a masterpiece. Even I can't break them. Arcueid's face grows even more serious. Wait, you were going to break them? Did I say that part out loud? I knew it. You were going to break them after all. I retrieved the glasses from Arcueid. Jeez. You're the one who just said I couldn't stay sane without these glasses, or do you want me to go crazy? That's not what I meant. I just didn't like how you treasured them so much. Hey, listen, you... Jeez. Somebody please tell me how a mind like hers works. It's true my memories of Sensei are precious to me, but more importantly, I can't live without them. If I were to see the lines 24 hours a day, I think I'd die from the headache before I went mad. I suppose there must be a strain on your brain from being able to see death. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of reason for those eyes of yours, but this is all I can tell you for now. If we get the chance later, I'll go over it in a little more detail. That's alright. I'm not going into long stories anyway. Is that so? Or, I'm not into long stories anyway. Personally, I enjoy talking to other people. Arcueid gives a carefree laugh. It really does seem like she enjoys doing nothing more than talking. Night descends. Arcueid sits on the bed and we both stare absent-mindedly at the clock. It's past 4 in the morning. About an hour until dawn. Just one more hour? Nothing out of the ordinary has happened up until now, and Arcueid shows no signs of tension. We're surrounded by complete tranquility. Somehow, I'm beginning to believe that tonight might just end like this. Hey, Shiki. Arcueid calls me again. What? I don't have anything else to talk about. Really? But it's such a waste not to talk now that we're in a situation like this. Listen, how many hours do you think I've had to put up with your nonsense talking? 6 hours. That's making me more tired than keeping watch. Arcueid gives me a dissatisfied glare. That's right. For some reason, Arcueid has been talking to me for 6 hours straight. I told her she should sleep if she was feeling weak, but she replied with, "It's more fun to talk," so in the end, we ended up facing each other and talking the whole time. I just don't know what she's thinking. To top things off, I'm hungry. Come to think of it, my last meal was breakfast, so I haven't eaten anything for a whole day. Why don't you eat something if you're hungry? We're in a fancy hotel after all, so you can call room service. That's okay. I'd lose my sense of tension if I filled my stomach now. More importantly, shouldn't you be getting something to eat? You're weakened, but you aren't sleeping, so you should at least get something to eat. If you're not going to eat, then neither am I. Normal food is meaningful in its own way, but it's boring to eat by myself. Normal food? There's nothing normal or special about... Ah, wait. Arcueid is a vampire. I suppose to her, food would mean drinking someone's blood. Or is there? I guess being a vampire, you wouldn't usually consume much except blood. She doesn't look like it, but Arcueid is a vampire. She says vampires need the blood of humans to survive. Then, just how many people has she drained blood from, and how many people has she killed before? I sneak a quick glance at her face. I can't imagine. Even though I know she's a vampire, for some reason, I can't imagine her sucking anyone's blood. What? Is there something on my face? She meets my gaze, and I quickly look away. Arcueid continues to stare at me, and then gives a laugh of comprehension. Are you curious? About what? About how many people I've sucked blood from? She's completely read my mind. Arcueid's smile grows even wider, and I don't like it. Well, of course I'm curious. I am helping you, so if I don't know, I won't have any idea about when you might have a change of heart and try to attack me. That would really be a problem. I see, Arcueid says. Well then, here's a question. How many people's blood have I sucked so far? She bounces lightly up from the bed and walks to the window. How many pieces of bread have you eaten in your life, Arcueid? How many people? That's... Arcueid gives a cheerful smile and silently looks in my direction with an air of delight. Damn it, it's obvious that she's trying to provoke me. Fine, I'll answer. Let's see, it has to be... in the hundreds? Sorry, you're off. Then in the thousands? Nope, that's wrong too. Arcueid laughs like it's so funny. Somehow, this feels really frustrating. Damn, then, well, I doubt it's the case, but in the tens? That's wrong too. Oh, really? Tens, hundreds, thousands? Do you really see me as that sort of person? That's so mean. That would make me indiscriminate. Am I wrong? Vampires are indiscriminate, aren't they? Even humans get hungry merely by being alive, and when it's a matter of life and death for you, you wouldn't be picky either. Yes, that's true, but... I haven't tasted blood these last 800 years. Nor have I ever killed an ordinary human. Huh? Wait, is that true? It's the truth. After all, I'm afraid of sucking blood. Huh? Afraid of sucking blood? You've got to be kidding, right? A vampire that's afraid of sucking blood? Why? I suppose I'm a coward. That's why I'm a failure as a vampire. Arcueid grumbles as she looks up at the night sky from the window. She stays like that for a long time, continuing to look up at the sky. Her white back looks vague, hazed over, as if she was merely an illusion. I see. A failure. I whisper, and I feel relieved. Somehow, that makes me happy. Of course, it's only natural to be relieved, because now I know the person that's standing before me isn't some kind of vicious, evil being. For now, if I were to believe what she says, I won't just be killed by her at random. So, I'm safe. I'm safe, but I feel like that's not the only reason I'm relieved. Damn it, what's wrong with me? Being relieved over something like this. How can I be happy over something like Arcueid being a failure? Suddenly, I feel a faint dizziness. Shiki? What's wrong? You're sweating an awful lot. No, it's just this twinge of pain in my head. I realize something with a shock as I reply to Arcueid. The window behind Arcueid. Beyond the glass, within the city streets, still sunken in... Let's take that sentence again. Beyond the glass, within the city streets, still sunken in the darkness of night. A blue crow is looking in my direction. I can do no more than stare at its dim figure through the window. Arcueid turns towards the window too. Nero? Indeed. I have finally found you, princess of the true ancestors. From somewhere, a force of will flows into the room. Arcueid's eyes are full of enmity. Outside the window, the crow gives a loud, high-pitched scream. This is it. I am heading there right now. The blue crow flies off. All that remains is the dark of night and the white moon. Suddenly, boom! With a heavy noise, the room shakes violently. No, to be more precise, the entire hotel shook from that impact. What the hell? I get up from the bed. Arcueid is silent, biting her lip with a vexed expression. Arcueid, that shaking just now. She doesn't answer. Say something! That wasn't an earthquake, was it? If I had to guess, it felt more like someone had driven a large dump truck into the hotel lobby at full speed. It was that kind of impact. Arcueid! She doesn't answer. If I listen closely, I can hear noises from downstairs. Arcueid's face is grave. She said she was powerless right now. That's probably why she's not saying anything. Only time passes by. 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes after the impact, but the hotel is awfully quiet. Arcueid remains silent and still, just biting her lip as if withstanding something. I can see a trail of red blood slowly flowing down from her lip. Arcueid. Is she worried? Frustrated? She remains still, almost as if she's embracing herself, bearing with something. She said she wouldn't leave the room. Then, what am I here for? Oh, we got some action! I should go check what's happening outside. I believe is the correct course of action here. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that is what we need to do here. Alright. I've decided what to do from the very beginning. Oh, careful. Don't fall over. A cat just almost fell from where she was laying. Okay. Taking the knife out of my pocket, I walk up to the door. Shiki. Oh, hello! I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but hello, welcome. You are just in time for some action. I'm going to check things out. Don't leave this room until I come back. I step out into the hallway, shaking off Arcueid's look that she wants to say something. No one is in the hallway. I couldn't hear from inside, but the hallway is noisy. It's not that this floor is noisy. Rather, the noise is coming from beneath my feet. There's some kind of ruckus on the floor below. I can hear the noise of many people talking. I suppose the impact just woke the guests, and they are complaining to the hotel. Doesn't look strange so far. I walk down the hallway. The noise from downstairs is like the sound of ocean waves. Noisy, and yet so very solitary and inactive. My fingers gripping the knife feel numb. A chill runs over the back of my neck. There's something near my temple. Pain emerges from the back of my eyes. Enduring it, I walk down the hallway. It hurts. My eyes hurt. My head grows heavy, and I feel a drifting sensation, like I'm about to collapse right here. Yeah, I know where this is. Without a doubt, this is the feeling I get right before I collapse from anemia. Oh, that said what, not where. It hurts. It hurts. Unable to withstand it any longer, I remove my glasses. I can see the elevator. A long hallway. It must be more than 10 meters from here to the elevator. And then, with a ding-dong, the elevator comes up to the 11th floor. I can see the lines on the elevator door. No, they're too dense. They look almost pitch black. The door opens. The small steel box opens. Inside that box, crammed to the point of overflowing, is human flesh. Inside that steel box called an elevator, the red meat of humans is ground and pushed in. Inside, 2 black dogs are voraciously feasting away on something. What? I stop breathing. Like my brain, which just froze, my lungs stop as well. I can't breathe, but that isn't important. My vision turns crimson. With a bubbling sound, blood pours out of the elevator. Amidst the ocean of blood, people, arms, feet, bones, brains, fingers, organs, and other parts. The 2 black dogs are the only form of life. My very instincts refuse to take in this scene. Down the hallway, 2 black dogs are picking at the human corpses. If I listen carefully, I can still hear sounds coming from downstairs. If I listen carefully, there are the sounds of gorging, the chewing of meat, cries for help, and the death screams of people which can't even be called words anymore. What is this? Though there is no way I can see it, before my eyes is the image of dozens of beasts eating the people in the hotel alive. A man running down the hallway, trying to escape. But the panther-like claws descending from the ceiling slice him open from his nose to the back of his head. A girl locking herself up in a room and crying. But to the lions, a door is no stronger than paper, and within seconds they demolish it into an unrecognizable shape. Striving madly to be the first ones there, people dashing for the elevator, but within it, the black dogs waiting inside to decapitate them the instant the doors open. At any rate, there is no exception. Beneath my feet, within this huge box called the hotel, is a scene from hell I can feel down to my very bones. I feel like throwing up, but I can't do that. If I just stand around and do that, I'll become part of that Red Sea. I resume my breathing. I grit my teeth hard. The dogs inside the elevator notice me. All sounds from below have ceased. In other words, there is no longer anyone alive. The 2 black dogs begin to run. Of course, towards me, the last prey. The black dog is coming for me. On their bodies, I can see an infinite number of lines, and on their foreheads, the point of death. But even so, my paralyzed mind does not order my body to fight or run. The first black dog leaps. Its speed belies all human comparison. It doesn't even take 2 seconds to cover the 10 meters down the hallway. They open their mouths filled with fangs so many times sharper than the knife I have, and they are aimed straight at my throat. Accurate and fast. The instant I realize they are drawing upon me, the fangs bite into my throat with a crunch. I die. But that's not right. I can't be killed by something like this, and I refuse to die. The deaths of others would not cause me to hesitate. A hot summer's day. It happened long ago. 8 years ago. I've seen something even more terrible. Thrust. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the black dog biting into my neck. My arm moved just before the black dog ripped through my throat. It was done so perfectly, even for myself. Like a machine whose sole function is to cut, I plunged the knife into the dog's forehead without any useless and wasted movement. Because that is where the first dog's point was. Normally, even if the brain is destroyed, the muscles try to execute the commands they have received from the brain. The black dog would have probably ripped through my throat even if I had simply pierced its head. Well, normally that would happen. But the black dog is dead. Death is a complete stoppage. At the point when I killed it, it lost every form of validity. The first dog falls onto the ground. In its place, the second dog is flying straight at my face. I thrust the knife right into its open mouth, but that was a mistake. This dog's point is not on its face, but on its chest. Just stabbing it in the mouth will not kill it. The knife pierces through the dog's mouth and into the back of its head. Naturally, the hand holding the knife still remains in the dog's mouth. The black dog is still alive. Its jaw shuts. The joint between my arm and the hand holding the knife is bitten and about to be ripped apart. Proper thought returns with the pain. You have to be kidding me! It's as if I'm just letting him chew through my arm by stabbing him in the mouth. Why, you? I try to pull my arm out. The dog's teeth are deep in my arm. It doesn't seem like I can pull it off. More importantly, this black dog, despite having been pierced in the head, is still filled with life. Even though I lift it after piercing its head, it shakes and lands on top of me. I fall onto the floor. I still can't pull my arm out. The black dog, still pierced in the head, applies more power to its bite. My arm is surely going to be torn off. I can't believe this. No dog ought to be able to bite anything in that state. You? I feel something wet. I can see blood spilling from the black dog's mouth. Is it the black dog's blood leaking from its knife wound to the head? Or is the blood coming from my arm, about to be torn off? To be honest, my head is too messed up to be feeling the pain, so it isn't a big deal which one it is. Let go! I try to wrestle away from the black dog, but it is firmly attached to my arm. I can't escape. I can't run away. If I want to escape, I have no choice but to kill it. But how? The hand it's biting off is the one holding the knife. I'm on the ground, so even supposing I did pull my hand out the very next instant, the black dog's mouth will be free to bite through my throat. It's okay. Calm down, Shiki. First, you've got to examine the situation well, and then think calmly about it. That's the kind of thinking you've always kept. In that case, I can do something. For example, there's plenty of lines on the back of its head, and I can see the black point on its chest. The way to survive is awfully simple. But I have my doubts about executing this plan. No matter how savage and evil a creature is, to do something like kill a panting and gasping creature that's so alive, this close to me, it's something I'm hesitant to do. The pressure on my arm increases. My entire arm is shortly going to be ripped off at this rate. But even so, I just can't seem to do something so cruel. The red blood drips down onto my face. Going down my forehead, it drips into my eyes. Crimson darkness soaks into the back of my eyes. Red. My consciousness sways, and then is gone. But even so, I can't bring myself to kill a living creature. What hypocrisy. You've killed something much bigger than a mere dog. Yes, that's right. But that time was different. I wasn't sane when it was Arcueid. Even when I killed the other black dog just a moment ago, that was unrelated to my will. But right now, this is very much my own will. Didn't Sensei say, Shiki? Use this power according to your own will, and no one else's. That's why, as myself, right now, I could never take a life for granted. That, too, is hypocrisy. Because long ago, you... that is a nightmare from my childhood. See, what are you waiting for? It was a hot summer's day. Kill or be killed. Before my eyes, the blood-soaked shadow of a boy. You've already... hot red blood on my hands. Haven't you killed someone once before? I thrust. I don't pull, but rather thrust deeper into the black dog's head. I can hear its yelping right in front of me. I think the black dog is crying out. With my arm in its mouth, it could not properly cry, but it's crying anyway. I'm sure that's how much it must hurt. I don't care. I plunge the knife in deeper, along with my arm. Without a sound, the blade of the knife punctures out the back of the black dog's head. It's as if the dog has grown a horn. Having split the skull, I easily slash through its skin. Blood and brains spray out as the knife completely emerges from the back of the head. Also, the hand gripping the knife travels completely through. But even so, the black dog is still alive. Then there's only one thing I have to do. I reach around with my other hand. Peeling the knife from my blood-drenched fingers, I grip the knife with my free hand. And just like that, I thrust it into the point on the black dog's chest. And with that, the black dog dies. The strength drains from its jaws, and I easily pull my arm back out. Oh, it wasn't torn off at all. I look at my blood-covered arm. There are many teeth marks, but the flesh is almost free of wounds. The blood must have been from the black dog when I impaled it through the head. The pain from when I was being bitten was really quite trivial, but my fear must have amplified it many times over. Lying there on the ground, I look up at the ceiling. My head hurts. The world becomes a patchwork, and here and there I can see the black points of death. My body is freezing, but my mind is burning feverishly. Right beside me lay the corpses of the 2 black dogs. One of my arms is covered in blood, the other clutches a red knife. Also, there are a quite uncountable number of dead bodies downstairs. All I can do is laugh, because this isn't real. There's no way this can be real. At what point did I, with my eyes wide open, start seeing a nightmare? Ding dong. A terribly out-of-place, cheerful sound rings out. Damn it, what's with this headache? I stand up, enduring the razor-like pain in my head. Elevator? It seems the sound is the other elevator coming up. The door opens. Inside stands a man wearing a black coat. The headache worsens. Yes, I've seen him before. I'm sure I've seen that man before. Silently, he walks towards me. You! I ready my knife as I glare at him. But he doesn't react at all as he walks towards me. It's as if he doesn't notice me at all. The distance between us shrinks. Just a little more. When there's barely 1 meter between us, and the man finally seems to notice me. Those bloodshot eyes. The instant I see those eyes which no human should possess, I lose all freedom to move my body. I thought I killed everyone, but it seems like there's still someone left. My throat's a little bit shot. My voice is a little bit, not good to attempt a super deep voice like his right now. The man turns and looks at the corpses of the 2 black dogs. You pieces of filth. If you can't even take care of a scrap of meat, you're unworthy to be part of my body. The man voices his displeasure as he raises his hand. His coat lifts like a mantle. Broken. With a splash, the black dog's remains liquefy and disappear into the man's coat. I can't even scream. Below the man's coat is pure darkness, without even the traces of an outline. All that exists there is a mud-like darkness. This is dangerous. This guy is just too dangerous. My instincts sound the alarm wildly in my head, but I can't even lift a finger. The man in the black coat approaches me. It's not good if I just stay here. The unstopping headache grows to an unbearable level, telling me this place is dangerous. Whatever the means, if I don't get out of here soon, I am going to lose my life. But it's too late. The man is right before me. Those eyes aren't looking at me at all. Feed. He raises one of his arms. Below it lies a chaotic darkness. From there, something huge appears. Whomp. The sound of wind. That which has appeared from below the man's coat is a crocodile's mouth, easily large enough to swallow a man whole. I'm going to die. Right here, in an instant, crunched up like a ball of paper. Just as I was convinced of this, someone pulls me back. Clomp. What? I can't believe it. Instead of me, the jaws of the crocodile clamp onto the stomach of Arcueid, who just pulled me out of the way. Arcueid's face contorts in agony. She draws back before she is completely devoured by the crocodile's maw. The man silently watches Arcueid. Arcueid glares back at him with a pained expression, her midsection stained in red. I can't believe a vampire named Chaos would play such trivial games. It's like a poorly scripted nightmare. Nero Chaos. Yes, that is how that is pronounced. I feel the same way. To catch one of the surviving true ancestors. I never dreamed I would be a part of such a foolish festival. This is a nightmare for me, too. The man called Nero quietly lowers his arm. The coat returns to its former position, and the crocodile's mouth disappears underneath. The man looks only at Arcueid. It's as if he's not concerned at all about me, standing behind her with my knife raised. But what is going on? I have heard that the previous executor could not even scratch you. What kind of a mistake is this? Right now, your presence is exceedingly weak. Even weaker than a mere member of the dead. Were you attacked by the church before I arrived? Arcueid Brunstud? Arcueid says nothing. The man fixes his emotionless stare on her. I don't understand. There are only a limited number of conceptual weapons capable of harming you. The only people in possession of those are the church's assassins, and I don't think the burial agency would dispatch anyone this far east. The man narrows his eyes slightly as he turns around. Either way, this is most fortunate for me. I shall not ask you why you have been weakened, he says after asking her why repeatedly. All I am going to do is claim your head while I have a chance of winning. I hold up my knife, preparing for his attack. But, having openly stated he was going to take her head, the man now disappears towards the elevator. It seems, despite this claim, the man in the black coat is now leaving the hallway for the elevator. Huh? Now I have got absolutely no idea what's going on. About that man, the two dogs who attacked me, the nightmare-like reality of the attack on this hotel, none of it. Shiki. Arcueid leans on me. It's a terrible wound. Did I watch Carnival Phantasm? I knew about Nero's name. Well, I have watched Carnival Phantasm, but also, I've been into Tight Moon stuff for, coming up on 7 years? So, yeah. I don't remember if I first heard about how to pronounce his name through Carnival Phantasm or if I learned it somewhere else. I think I learned it somewhere else. I think I learned it just, talking to people. Though her stomach stopped bleeding, her face is scrunched up in pain. It happened mere seconds ago. The wound she got from protecting me from that man. Why did you... Yes, I underestimated him slightly. Okay, so not totally blind. Yeah, I have also been through Arcueid Route once before, but that was like a few years ago. I thought I could help you and then dodge him, but you did really well, Shiki. I guess the wound I got from you wasn't so trifling after all. Arcueid's face, twisted in pain, turns into a small, joking smile. I can't watch her any longer. The wound she got was from protecting me, and the reason she got it was because of me too. There is no place for that stupid smile of hers. Arcueid leans onto me and lightly closes her eyes. Hold on, don't close your eyes, you idiot. Get a hold of yourself. You're a vampire who can't die at night, right? Well, that's true, but it seems like I'm at my limit. What? Sorry, but could you take me back to my room? Arcueid's weight falls on me. Hold on. If she dies, Hey! I call out to Arcueid, who has quietly closed her eyes. And then I can hear her happily breathing in her sleep. I shouldn't have bothered worrying. Arcueid is only sleeping. Telling me to take her back to her room like that? How selfish of her. It really was selfish of her, but there's no point helping it in this situation. There's no helping it in this situation. Ah. I keep adding words to sentences. Besides, if we stay here in this hotel any longer, I have the feeling we'll be in a lot of trouble. The headache won't stop. I guess I have to rest too, or I'll faint. Arcueid's room? Oh, that place. I've only been there once, but I definitely remember it. Oh, I'm sure you do. In that case, there's no point staying here any longer. Carrying Arcueid, I decide to quickly leave the hotel. Okay, so I love the hotel massacre scene. I think it is fantastically written. The first time I went through this route, I was like, oh, that is terrifying. Like, this scene has lived in my head for years. And now, in case anybody's watching who isn't familiar with Tsukihime, in the remake, Nero isn't there. They replaced him with a new character. So I did not even think about this until recently when one of my friends was playing through the remake for the first time. I was like, hang on. What did they do with the hotel scene? I remember my friend told me what they replaced it with, but I don't remember exactly. But like, dude, you can't get rid of that scene. It was super cool. The city is slightly lit up. Fortunately, it's too early in the morning for anyone to be awake, so I get to Arcueid's room without being seen. I see. That's how it is. Then I finally realize why that man left. The streets are beginning to become covered with a faint orange light. I guess dawn is I guess dawn is breaking already. Alright. That is the end of day 3. Which means we're gonna start wrapping up here for tonight. I forgot this scene was so early. Dude, Tsukihime moves so much more quickly than Fate Stay Night. It's wild. But yes, we are going to go ahead and start wrapping up for the night. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some Grand Blue Fantasy. I completely forgot with the last Grand Blue stream to actually put up the poll that I normally do to decide what exactly we're going to be doing, but so I'm making the executive decision that we're going to be doing the next Dragon Knights event, which is going to be Through Frost and Flame, I believe is the title. And we will be back with more Tsukihime next Friday. Classic Tsukihime is classic. I have one thing to say, and that is, I do not like Remake Roa's design. What did they do to him? That's like a whole different character to me. But anyways, yes. Thank you to everybody who stopped by tonight, and I hope to see you all next time.